to another episode of Kill James Bond. I am November Kelly. I am joined, as always, by my friends Abigail, Thorne, and Devon.
Hello, listener.
What's up?
And we are watching a film that I think is going to indict me more than anyone. More than any we've seen, even.
Oh my.
Because I was talking to Abby about this before we started recording. And this is a film that I watched for the first time when I was 15. I was trying to sort of educate myself about films, and I don't know how I alighted on this one, but I downloaded on a torrent and watched on my PC Croupier. And let me tell you, I thought this
wasn't life-changing for you.
It was the coolest thing in the world to me. I was like, I'm the croupier from Croupier. I'm going to sort of model my whole sense of masculinity around this movie.
Oh, you had a Serpico moment with Croupier from Croupier. That's unfortunate.
I did. Similar number of hat involvement as well.
And, we'll get to the hats.
I can't judge you, Nova, because I also wore a stupid hat and also got into card tricks and magic and stuff. This is... I mean, listeners,
I also wore a stupid hat for a long time.
Let's put our cards on the table and an apropos metaphor as well. This movie is not about 9/11.
No.
No, it is
Which means
not.
it's about being transgender. And there is a kind of guy, or I don't know whether there is still a kind of guy, but there definitely was a kind of guy in 1998 when this movie came out, and subsequently for the noughties. This kind of guy was being that kind of guy in order to avoid being a woman. And I think November and I were both this kind of guy at some point.
In so many ways, because the thing is, it's a form of kind of camouflage, or it's like a kind of heat shield where if you put a weird enough set of adjectives in front of guy, people see those and then they don't see the guy part, which means they don't question it as much and you don't have to think about it as much.
Exactly.
And if they're doing the whole I think you should leave, oh my god, he's still fucking wearing it hat sketch. That's like a Squid's ink, you know? They're not thinking about whether or not you have gender dysphoria.
This is not I saw the TV glow, it's I saw the roulette wheel spin.
Yes, yeah, and so the thing is, this is kind of a nostalgia trip for me because somehow I got out of my adolescence. Obviously, at some point, the penny dropped that this wasn't actually cool, but I still believed in my heart of hearts that this was a good film. And then I rewatched it for this, having suggested it for this, thinking, oh, this will be a good film. I can talk about the kind of influence it had on me. And yes, it was cringe, but like, it's a good film. And I was watching it and I thought, oh no.
Like, oh shit.
No.
Oh no, I've premised a sort of part of my character, my existence on a film that is not only cringe, but it's also not good.
Well,
it's
this
also
is like
bad.
when we watched Shoot 'em Up for me. But Nova, do you know what? Do you know what's actually really nice and really funny? Of the three named female characters in this movie, two of them look exactly like you now. So, in a way, maybe this movie kind of, maybe you're just watching the wrong character in it.
It is possible, yes.
That's good.
Yeah, thank God.
I don't know.
You like hold the controller in the right way. You can skip across from being the croupier to being that nice dealer.
Once you play through Croupier once, you unlock cinema mode where you can swap Nathan Drake's model with any of the others in the game.
It's iconic hat.
then it's Gina McKee from Brass Eye wearing the iconic hat. Yes.
God,
so
yeah, it is.
Croupier is a 1998 neo-noir movie, and it really tries to be a neo-noir movie. We haven't talked about a lot of like classic film noir. We will do. Maybe its own season. I don't know.
The main way you can tell that it's a neo-noir is that he's doing the noir dialogue. He's doing the like voiceover the whole time.
Yeah, he's sort of like there's a stream of consciousness to it. It's very bad. A croupier, by the way, is the guy who croups. It's the comparative form of the adjective croupy. It's a dealer in a casino card game.
In a casino.
Yes.
He's crouping.
We begin with our boy crouping, and our boy is Clive Owen.
That's right. Hell yeah.
Greasy and thin.
Yeah.
And quite young as
Wearing
well.
a tuxedo saying, please cast me as James Bond.
Yeah.
And then they never did.
The Bond who should
which
have been.
I think is a shame.
I know,
so Clive Owen.
It's a shame. He couldn't play Bond now
No.
But there's a lot of points in his like filmography where he could have jumped tracks to Bond.
Yeah, this was sort of his layer cake in the sense of it being his. I mean, Daniel Craig had a longer career as an actor before this than Clive Owen had before Croupier, but like it was still the kind of like breakout role and Bond audition. You know, there's the shots in there where he's in the tuxedo kind of like smoldering. That's very much a like, have you seen my tape? I've sort of smuggled it into Barbara Broccoli's pockets. Please watch my tape. But so we begin in a casino, a London casino. You can tell because it's terrible.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
The 90s, all of the mirrored surfaces. And he is crouping, our boy's crouping at a roulette table. And we get some narration that he has achieved a kind of croupier zen state. You know, he's in a kind of flow state of watching gamblers. I mean, you do get some nice repulsive shots, because I do think this movie does a couple of things well, of gamblers. Not easy to make not difficult to make gamblers look bad. I just saw Ballad of a Small Player, which does that quite well. Or you could watch The Card Counter, which is a much better movie. And you see his kind of contempt for them, but he's also kind of like very much centered in the room, you know?
Yes, the whole world turns around him like a roulette wheel. He's not touched by it because his money isn't on the line.
He's so Sigma.
He's just there. Exactly.
He's not participating in the world. He doesn't have to be a human being.
Yeah.
Listeners, my thesis is that this is a fucking egg-ass movie.
It is an egg-ass movie, yes. I mean, certainly, even if it's not in itself an egg-ass movie, which it is, it appealed to me on an egg-ass level. Like, I was watching this thinking, damn, it must be so cool to be completely aloof from the world because you're, like, smarter than everyone.
Yes. And wear a stupid hat. It's
Maybe
so
my
important.
hat's not stupid because I'm actually so much smarter than everyone else in the world.
Yeah, I need that hat to cover my enormous brain. But anyway, we flash back, and we meet. Clive Owen tells us that his name is Jack Manfred, and he's a writer, and he goes to see
Jack
this.
Womanfred.
Yeah, exactly. He goes to see this publisher called Giles and has a meeting that I think I've had several times before with TV producers.
Yeah,
where
Christ.
he's just like, yeah, man, I'd really love a job writing. And then this guy just gives him a bunch of fucking bullshit.
Yeah, so Giles is presumably like old school friend, right? Presumably private school as well. And this movie really, this is one of the ones where it's like the writer's obvious axe to grind is being ground here. As we find out, and I'm not going to argue with this, certainly, that the 1990s British publishing industry is uniquely sort of venal and stupid. Giles has a slot machine in his office that he's just idly playing with because, you know, it's like gambling. This is the first of many things this movie does where it's the disease of a central metaphor, you know, and it really hammers it too long and too hard and on too many things of being like publishing. It's a lot like gambling. So sort of bookmark that for later. But also, Giles has no idea what he's doing. He has sort of total contempt for the form, and the only work he can offer Jack is ghostwriting sort of nonsense. Whatever's in that
some
week.
like soccer novel, and then they'll like slap a celebrity's face on it. There's also a funny bit where he says, don't give up. And then he says, I want to give you 3 words of advice. And then he gives him like 15 words of advice.
Well, they come in 3s.
Yeah, all of them in like 3-word couplets. It's really good.
Yeah, and it's just this like cliche
Triplets, I suppose.
bullshit. He's like, yeah, survive till 25, stay in the mix till 26. The industry's just really bad at the moment. Just kind of hold
Network,
on.
not net worth.
Yeah.
Hustle and grind.
Yeah, you just gotta believe. Yeah, and Jack thinks to himself, Jack smiles and nods and thinks to himself, "Yeah, go fuck yourself."
We can tell that this is earlier, by the way, because Jack has a horrible blonde dye job.
He does, yeah. In our introduction, he's got close cropped black hair, but he's got this awful like blonde job here.
Yeah, he goes back from James Bond to like I don't know, like Guy Pearce in Memento or yeah. So he's sitting at his in his shitty basement flat in London. You can tell it's shitty because it's got, bars on the windows to stop people breaking in. He's sitting at his 90s word processor, trying to write this football book. And the first time you see him, you get the fedora jump scare.
He's got a stupid writing hat that he puts on when he's in writing mode, and it's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine if someone decided to just start wearing a hat that they thought reflected their personality? Maybe a little bit sort of out of time.
I can't judge you for this, Nova, because as I said,
right now.
I had a fedora with a skull and crossbones on it. And that's the hat that I used. That was my egg hat.
Like a kind of detective pirate.
There you go. It was way too small as well.
I also had a bunch of fedoras at about that age.
I was saying this to Abby before we started, that I was worse because I did have a fedora, but I had to work my way to the fedora because initially I had a bunch of trilbies.
Oh my god, no, I think I had trilbies instead, actually. You're so right.
Whoever decided to sell trilbies by the tills in Topshop was committing an unthinkable act of transmisogynistic violence. And second of all,
it was like a psychic fucking blow. That's where I got mine.
I genuinely think I might have bought one from there.
Not a single top ever shopped in Topshop, first of all.
Yeah, fucking bottom shop for real.
Top man, wrong on both counts. However, I had you can sort of put this on a chronology as well. I was saying to Abby before we started, because I stopped wearing the trilby not because I realized it was cringe, but because the trilby was becoming increasingly associated with like the manosphere. And for a while, my beef with them, beyond the obvious, was they were making my hat uncool. So it was me and Yahtzee Croshaw were the like victims of anti-feminism on that side.
You know what?
That's good.
Shout out to Yahtzee Crusher, who, by the way, is still going. He's still going. He's still making those. I found that out the other day.
Hell yeah.
But I stopped wearing my skull and crossbones fedora when I was on Granger Street in Newcastle, and some people started pointing and laughing at me, and then they started throwing things. And I stopped wearing it after that.
The world is so cruel to a would-be detective.
I wish people had done that to me. I kept on with the fucking trilby for quite some time. There's a character in the Michael Grant phase series that was wearing one, and it hit me like a ton of bricks at a specific age.
You can just be victimized.
Sometimes it happens. Cosmic ray just flips something in your brain, and you're like, I could put a trilby on. I think I can pull it off.
It's like the black shirt, white skinny tie that we all wore.
I was just thinking of
It was part of the egg uniform.
Look, we've all got photos of us in the black shirt with the white skinny tie.
Yeah, we do.
You have to do it.
James Bond hihighlights. If you need those from us, you can possibly get them. I don't know.
Yeah, reach out. I got them.
Absolutely not.
Reach out. We'll redact one
Bad
of them.
Photoshop it for
I guess the question we're sort of asking in this little tangent is it worse to get bullied and experience the sort of temporary pain of getting bullied out of something and forced into conformity, or not to get bullied and just to go through life in the trilby, just thinking, this is fine, I've got this shit on. I don't know that I have enough.
I think they're both bad, aren't they? The real answer is a secret third thing, which is become a woman.
He's also wearing braces, like suspenders, over a jumper.
Yep.
Look, we got to do away with this guy.
And again, you can see sort of the reflection of 15-year-old me in the computer screen being like, that's me. That could be me. I could be that cool.
I could be the croupier.
From Croupier, yeah. But at this point, his dad calls him. And says, I've got to give you the call to adventure. There's a casino in London called the Golden Lion. I've got you a job offer there as a croupier. The croupier from the movie Croupier. Go in there and speak to Mr. Reynolds.
His dad, by the way, very Cockney accent. And we see he's calling him from a casino somewhere hot, somewhere warm.
And he says, keep going, don't let yourself down. And he also says, well, how are you doing, Dad? And he's like, oh, yeah, I just started a new company. I just got financing for it. And he's spinning this very sort of flash yarn about how well he's doing, which is then immediately undercut.
Because we see him
good.
as he hangs up the phone go and take his job as a casino bartender with the sort of like commissaire jacket and stuff.
Yeah. The lady at the bar who he makes a drink for has like a massive 1998 mobile phone that's probably giving like ear cancer to everyone within a 5-mile radius. Extremely funny.
Rules. I kind of, yeah. So the other thing about this is we're skipping over a lot of the really obnoxious narration, which the movie kind of correctly thinks of a noir movie that it's obnoxious, right? Because it really is trying to do a sort of 40s, 50s noir movie in the late 90s. And it gets that part of that is sort of like earnestly committing to an annoying form, but it really overcommits. And so Jack is then thinking in his head, Jack was hanging up the phone on his dad and going to like go and work at the casino for stupids, right? And we see that as he goes to this casino, he has both a familiarity and a contempt, with and a contempt for casinos and gambling. It's like a previous addiction.
He thinks this is all very beneath him.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, goes to meet the manager, Mr. Reynolds, who's a Scotsman. We learn a couple of things here. One is that Jack is from South Africa. And the other thing he says is your dad has a bit of a reputation, doesn't he? And he goes, does he? Okay.
He also, he went to, we get the private school thing ticked off. He went to Bedales, which is a very like, theatre mums send their kids here. It's very artistic. Which is, I guess, why his internal monologue is like that. So there is a lesson here. Do not send your children to private school, both because it's immoral in itself and because it's traumatic in itself, but also because there is a decent chance you will give them an internal monologue and it's going to sound like this and it's just going to be awful. You know?
And then also if it turns out that they're women, it's going to be real fucking hard to undo all of that shit.
It's mostly just some of it's going to stay and you're going to have to make a podcast about it. Like, and
they'll just be sort of insane megalomaniacs.
It's all part of the process. You have to do it, really.
Yeah.
So Reynolds gives him a sort of like test of his croupiering skills. I don't know.
He croups. He gives him some chips and some cards and says, croup that shit.
Yeah, and he does croup pretty well. If you sort of don't mind the audible gear change of shot that doesn't include Clive Owen in it when someone's hands are sort of like moving all the chips.
Yeah, he's really good at it because it turns out he has the magical ability to use someone else's hands to do it.
My God.
It's like every medium shot, Clive Owen, every close-up shot is pure hands and there's nothing else. And it's like, great. Amazing.
The thing is, his hands get like much less vascular when he's crouping. Like... And then you cut back to Clive Owen's hands and they're sort of very vascular.
She just lent in. It should have been a woman's hands.
Yeah, just like a black guy or something, just to make it really obvious.
Why are you wearing nail polish? Yeah. So he has him deal blackjack.
It's a top secret, it's got to be.
Yeah, and he asks him what the count is, like counting cards, you know, how many high-value cards have been dealt, put that as a number. And Jack says -9, and the guy kind of tests him. He's like, not -10. And Jack sort of sigmas his way out of this, and he's like, no, always stand by your first count, because the odds are you're right, which is something that sounds profound, but isn't.
Yeah, it's just kind of bullshit.
Yeah, it's good.
Always stand by your first gender. Odds are you're right. No,
false. And the guy buys this, and Jack internally monologuing is like, I fucking got him. This guy can't count. Which I like. This was smart. This was there are bits of this that are good, but he is also kind of functionally bratting in his job interview for a job that he doesn't really want.
And then there's a few rules that Mr. Reynolds explains to him. First of all, you never gamble anywhere. We will know if you do, you don't get to gamble because you're croupier.
Never ask what's in the package.
Yeah,
no
says
names.
That's fine. Yeah, no names. Don't tell me you're a Frank Transporter. It says don't shag your co-workers. We will know. And then if you encounter a punter outside the casino, do not talk to them.
Not just don't shag your co-workers, don't befriend your co-workers. Like he said, friendships between croupiers are discouraged, which is just so Sigma.
There's also a bit that's aged phenomenally where Reynolds says, do you have a girlfriend? And he says, yeah. And then he says, is she into gaming?
Is she in the gaming industry?
She's not a gamer, no. Fucking noob.
Yeah. he takes him to see the security room, which is like full of CCTV cameras. And I think I'm trying to pass this through the lens of like 20 years of distance, right? This is meant to seem both, the surveillance is meant to seem expensive and like effective, but at the same time, the whole effect is kind of tawdry and cheap, not financially, but cheap kind of. Like it's all very like there's lots of sort of gold sort of plating on things, and it's a bit sort of, it's almost a bit Trump-like in some ways.
Jack even describes himself as a voyeur in voiceover.
Yeah,
because he's detached. He's a writer studying this world and just looks down on it so much. At one point, Reynolds says, "Do you want a career in gaming?" And he thinks to himself, "And end up like you."
Yeah. As well, he kind of, I mean, we do establish here that like you could not rob this casino. This would be an incredibly dangerous thing to do. It would be easier to rob like 1,000 banks than take a penny out of this casino.
Yeah. We also see Jack like looking at the security and noticing all the security measures. And at this point, I thought we were getting a very different movie out of this. But I was like, "Oh, he's planning to do something cool." But no, that's just all in his head because he's a fucking loser.
I gotta say, a big rack of monitors feels so much more real when it's CRT, right? Or like the thick ass monitors. Oh,
there's one shot where Reynolds shows him video of a cheat that he caught, and the actor fumbles the VHS tape and tries to like put it in the wrong way, and they kept that one in, and I really like it, just as a little like.
Oh, wonderful! I didn't catch that.
But so he's given the job, right, and the pay is really good as well. But it comes with these strings, these conditions. So
it's also on a 6-week delay, and he needs money now.
Yeah. He needs money now.
He has to sell his car.
Yes.
The worst thing that can happen to you when you live in London. Actually, I did not look this up beforehand. It's like an old 60s kind of roadster thing.
It's an old Aston Martin, I believe.
Is it really?
I think so.
Jesus,
I think I saw
stuff.
the wings, yeah. It's like a knackered one. And he sells it to guy I love to see, Barnaby K. Hello, one scene.
Got on Internet Movie Card Database. It is. It's a 1957 Austin Healey.
My bad. Sorry.
Owned.
And also at this point, I am struck by something. I recognize croupiers that I've known in my own life, because when he sells the car, he says to himself in voiceover, "Hang on tightly, let go lightly." And I knew a guy who used to have that as his catchphrase. One of my acting teachers used to say that a lot. And I was like,
so
"Oh shit!
Mantra.
I've been crouped."
Yeah, the whole atmosphere is suffused with croupier particles. Every bourgeois contains within him a particle of croupier. So he sells the car, and he goes home. And my note for this scene says, "Take a look at Jack Manfred's horrible relationship," because he is in the most stifling sort of. It's a monogamous relationship that is terrible with Gina McKee off of Brass Eye and
I don't know.
It
seems like it's pretty good on his end, because he gets home to Marion, his partner, and she has bought new lingerie and is like planning a sexy evening with him. And I'm like, oh, that'd be really nice. I'd really like that. Someone did that for me.
On the rewatch, this is so transgender, right? Because he's still doing the aloof thing. He hasn't turned that off.
Yeah.
I think it's deliberately meant to be like hangover from doing it in the casino, but also it's just how he is, of just like, I'm sort of above this, I'm disinterested in this, I'm sort of like picking up this bra and looking at it kind of dispassionately. And because he thinks he's that much better than her, he's just kind of not interested. And a lot of this feels tremendously repressed, like the kind of her trying to do something nice and sexy for him really feels like her trying to reach out to him when he is just not comfortable with this kind of intimacy, and the intimacy is all going in one direction.
There's a moment where she like comes out from the bedroom in a sort of nice cocktail dress and like very sexy, and he says, "You're all I desire." Credit to Clive Owen.
Obviously not meaning it.
Yeah, credit to Clive Owen. He's just like absolutely not convincing at all. And she's trying everything. She's being like quite sexy. She like blindfolds him and like nibbles his ear and stuff. And he's just like, beep boop, I got a job in a casino.
he's still fucking thinking about it. He doesn't care about her. He's like, and
He's
again, this is
fucking
interesting.
Dissociating. He's got fucking dick dysphoria.
Yeah, the movie has to kind of direct that into he's still thinking about his only real passion, which is croupiering. But like, it's really transgender.
It is. It really is.
These two are about to have the most perfunctory, terrible sex, and he's going to dissociate the whole time.
No. Oh dear.
And you know what this is? You know what this is? This will snipe some of you and not others in the audience. You know how you are an egg, but you are the kind of egg who sleeps with a lot of women.
Yep. Hello. Yep.
And kind of bolsters the masculinity with that, and people will go, "Oh, that guy must be so good at masculinity because he's like doing so
masculine
much.
As
He's
hell.
fucking so many girls. Is the sex any good? No. Are you dissociating throughout all of it? Yes. Like
but subtype of this guy who gets really good at the sex to compensate for that. You just you study this. Was it good? Was it good for me? No, not at all.
No.
Oh, okay. No, I'm more with you here now. I'm way more with you.
Which, of course, is like that's not important for it to be good sex. Like,
was it technically proficient? Yes.
Okay, yeah, no. Learning the rules of sex to be good at it is, I'm very with you. Yeah.
Well, that's sort of what I mean, though.
Yeah.
That's sort of what I mean is when I say like perfunctory, I don't mean like he's gonna start crying, right? Like I mean like you will get like a perfectly adequate sexual performance out of this. That he is not invested at all because he is around the rings of fucking Saturn at the moment that he's actually doing it. Yeah.
An actual image I used to use to dissociate with.
Very, very common. Dissociate with space. Good place to dissociate.
Not much up though.
Yeah.
There's fried wings though. There's fucking like grilled chicken now.
That's true. That is true. Thank you to the People's Republic of China for significantly advancing the cause of human civilization by grilling in space. Anyway.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, shout out to the people in the audience who've just realised they're transgender as a result of us explaining that.
Yeah.
Let's continue talking about the movie Croupier.
He tells Marion that he got this job in the casino, and she's like, she is upset by this because they don't need the money. She has a good job, and you get the sense that she kind of enjoys providing for him while he writes. He's working on a novel, not the football book, an actual like something good that he's going to put his like heart and soul into. And she wants to be with a writer, not with a croupier.
She wants the hat guy.
She has a weirdly specific fantasy of what her boyfriend's job must be, and it does not encompass crouping.
No, but anyway, he's a fucking croupier anyway. He's gonna croup with the best of them.
Yeah, he gets a little makeover.
He does, which includes a manicure.
Lies to everyone about his job.
Yes, he does. Again, a thing I used to do.
Yeah,
really classic stuff. Yeah.
So he's getting his hair cut, and the guy making conversation is like, what do you do for work? And treating that interaction with the seriousness it deserves, understanding it to be perfunctory because he is so smart and so Sigma. He's like, I'm an arms dealer, insincerely. And I'm like, I thought this was cool. I'm sorry. The real story of this episode is there must have been a few years where, you think I'm insufferable now. There must have been a few years where I was difficult to be around.
This episode actually just a struggle session for November.
Yes.
Sort of rivening.
Yeah, me too. I also used to just lie about what I did and who I am.
Yeah.
It's fun sometimes, where you got like a brief interaction with someone that is going to be time limited to be like, sure, I'll play a character for this,
Yeah, and it's also like it's a kind of self-test thing of like, liars have to have good memories. It's fun trying to keep track of these things over the course of a conversation or between multiple conversations. Lying is fun.
Yeah, it's fun, free. But he does go for some weird lies, like you say, he says that he's like an arms dealer
It's
to the hairdresser.
It's deliberately provocative.
Yeah.
And an undertaker, he tells the manicurist.
Yeah, as he's got his hair sort of like slicked back and like dyed black. which again I thought was very cool.
And when he goes to the casino, there's punters like trying to flirt with him, but he's just Sigma mode. He's just like, no, just beep boop.
Yeah, his like fucking voiceover is like, don't talk to the punters, be efficient, aim for 40 spins per hour, bam, bam. Yeah. It's very Sigma. It's unbelievably Sigma.
Listeners, if any of you out there have seen fucking Castration Movie Part 1, if you haven't, you should. This guy is just Turner from Castration Movie Part 1. He's just like, beep, I am the great machine. I have no feelings at all.
Conversation with Croupier.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I found.
And for him, crouping is mostly about watching gamblers lose, right? Because that's most of what gambling is, and he gets to perceive it. He gets to be a voyeur. So he does his first shift, and it all goes very smoothly. It's very slick.
Mm-hmm.
He notices that the casino lets you launder small amounts of money.
Yes,
and he just notes it. He's like, that's odd. I don't know why they do that. But he's in Sigma mode, so he's not like doesn't investigate in any way. He just notes it.
Yeah, you sort of get you take your dirty money in, exchange it for chips, gamble by going to a table, don't place any bets or just place a small one, take all of your chips immediately back, cash out for fresh money. And there's ostensibly nothing in this for the casino, so why do it?
Yeah, he's like, it's odd that they let this happen.
Yeah.
When there's not really anything in it for us.
So after the shift, in the horrible staff locker room,
the unisex staff locker room.
Yes, as well. This is not a space that protects women and girls.
No, it's
Quite
not.
the opposite, in fact. This is a space that endangers women and girls.
It's the space where we encountered November for a second time. Because Marion kind of looks like November, and now we meet Bella, who looks even more like November.
Yeah. Maybe I was internalizing some things.
Yes. Slightly upping the misogyny score here, because our first introduction to this character is she just gets her tits out. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
fine.
Yeah, Bella, who is also croupier. She's like putting on her dress, and as she does, she describes herself as being like tits in a uniform. She feels sort of like very similarly dissociative, you imagine. And she says, "How do I look?" And you get, this is the one place, or one of the few places, where the noir narration actually pops, because you get the narration of like trouble, and I'm like, I'm making the jerk off motion, but at the same time, I'm having fun. I am smiling. I do like this kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
just
making the
smug.
jerk off motion, but also like the penis is in the hand as I'm doing it.
I am actually jerking. I am mastusbating
I'm actually
to this.
joking.
Yeah. But that's not the only croupier she means.
It's just sort of disingenuous to describe it as making the jerk off motion. Really.
I don't even know what
It's
that
actually
meant.
just jerking off.
Well, the thing is, if you kind of read enough Baudrillard, you can recognize that what you're doing when you jerk off is you're just kind of making the jerk off motion.
It's
in a way
like symbolism, really.
Yeah. The true jerk contains a seed of the false jerk. But that's not the only croupier that he meets. Because
Indeed, there's a second croupier here.
Yes, a second croupier strikes the movie. What the fuck is this guy's name?
Matt.
Yeah.
So Matt is a kind of like South London wide boy.
The wide boy.
Yeah, he's wide lapels, apart from anything else. Is getting off work is kind of greasy, kind of sleazy, and offers Jack a lift home.
In a very nice BMW.
Yeah, there's this one scene of them together in horrible, shitty, after dark South London in this BMW.
So bad.
I remember when it looked like this, and it doesn't look like this now. They're putting up fucking, like, new build skyscrapers in Elephant and Castle, which is nice now. What the fuck happened? And
I don't know, man. It's crazy.
There's this, like, sort of pounding drum and bass to the point that you can't hear either of their dialogue, which isn't intentional, but works quite well anyway. And it's just awful. Everything about this is awful. And you see why in this uniquely 90s British shitness, you see why Jack is like, I'm actually better than all of these people. Because there was a lot that was repulsive about that time and that place. And there was a lot that invited you to think that you were better than people because there was a lot of horrible shit happening.
And also he went to private school. And so that's the kind of mindset that they inculcate you with.
Well, exactly.
So Matt invites him out to the pub and he declines. He goes home instead. And he wakes Marion up and she notices that he's like fucking wired. He's super tense. He's just so like filled with adrenaline from croupping all night. And she says,
loves it.
She says, "Oh, I liked your hair back when it was blonde." And he like shouts at her. He rebukes her quite strongly over this for seemingly no reason.
He's sort of like back in the grips of an addiction here. It's sort of very much framed that way.
So the next day at the casino, this guy tries to cheat, and Jack
he tries to place
this...
a late bet on the bet.
Jack handles this quite smoothly. And this guy kicks off. Reynolds ends up taking him away and paying him. But there's a South African lady at the gambling table who kind of compliments Jack on how well he handles this.
Compliments him. It's Alex Kingston.
Cool. We like to see Alex
Kingston, yeah.
Doctor Who fans very happy.
Go, we like to see. Go, we love to see.
Yeah, my note is like, holy shit, is that fucking River Song?
Yes, it is. It is.
And it is.
She asks, I mean...
She goes, oh my God.
Yeah, she's got the South African accent. Do you know where we're from? Cape Town by way of South Africa. Cape Town by way, Perth by way of South Africa. It's not a walk in the park.
From the bit of Gallifrey where they give you the South African accent. Actually, the Croupier would go hard as a Time Lord name.
That's true.
It would actually, yeah.
It's interesting as well that Reynolds pays off the cheat, who sort of, as he's being paid off, is like sort of like making the "I'm going to kill you" gesture to Jack. But like, key part of running a casino is when people try to cheat you, you give away a lot of money to them, right? That's sort of crucial. How is this place making money? Anyway, do you know where I'm from? She's from South Africa.
Perhaps I'll take you to my home in Africa.
And she tries to tip him.
Yes.
And he goes, "I'm sorry, we can't accept gratuities in the UK. It's different in South Africa, where I'm also from." And they have a kind of moment of recognition.
She's like, I'll be back later in the movie.
Yeah, perhaps I'll see you again. I'm going to do the accent every time in order to distract from the fact that I actually find it quite erotic.
It can be quite... Weirdly, you're the second person to say that to me in as many days. Like, yesterday I was chatting to the lady who works at like the coffee kiosk near me, and she was saying, "Oh, I love a South African accent." And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Anyway... The other thing Jack sees is Matt
shouldn't exist.
Cheating.
Crazy.
Matt is cheating.
He does, yeah.
He's paying out a punter more than he should. He's corrupt.
Yes.
And he fucking confronts him about it, and he does it to him like fucking Don Logan in the car. Like, it just comes to him staring this guy down as he's driving, being like, "You were cheating."
Yeah, and you get some nice kind of deflection from Matt of being like, "No, I wasn't. You can't prove it. And anyway, if I did, it's no worse than what is happening all the time in our society anyway."
Yeah, you know, we live in a society. Everyone's corrupt.
Live in a society.
All the time. You gotta loosen up.
Yeah. Come with me to the worst Greek restaurant in South London.
Yeah.
And I just put my head in my hands because I've been here.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a gathering of people having a little party, including the guy that we saw Matt paying off, who he's mates with, right? So this is, you know, how Matt makes a bit of money on the side.
Lots of guys in like shiny tracksuits as well.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, these are criminals. This is a criminals party. Okay.
Matt tells us that it's a criminals party. And also a lot of people who just work in the casino business. There's a line where Jack says, "What about the girls?" And Matt says, "Just girls?" And I'm like, okay. But they're gambling. Jack still declines to gamble because he's straight.
I don't gamble ever. Yeah. And here's the thing. This movie, because that convinced me that this is Sigma, prevented me from ever gambling. I have never gambled in my life because at a vulnerable age, I watched Clive Owen play someone smarter than everyone else. And one of the reasons he was smarter than everyone else is because he doesn't gamble. And I never have. So
I've never gambled in a casino.
Accidentally, thank you, Clive Owen and Mike Hodges in this movie. But so he meets a girl who enters shot with this took out all of us.
So good.
Enters shot with the longest spliff in the fucking world. I thought it was in a cigarette holder.
Yeah, it's so good.
When I first saw it.
Just this massive,
potentially episode art.
Yeah, this huge joint.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't gamble, do you smoke? And then just like lifts it comedically into the frame. We get another
Asked to leave the Greek restaurant after rolling a kind of weed hero.
We get another fucking transgender moment though, because he goes into the toilets and sees people shagging and just kind of like curls his lip in disgust
This is gross.
At the thought of intimacy, and then he just like quotes Hemingway in his head, like.
Why are you disgusted with so much of the world? Could it be because you're transgender?
Yeah,
could
maybe
that
you're
be
disgusted
why?
with yourself, like.
Yeah, maybe you're not actually Sigma. Maybe you're just a woman. Anyway, so he goes back to Matt and he's like makes his excuses. And that's when he quotes Hemingway. He quotes Hemingway aloud. He's like, the world breaks everyone, right? But afterwards, many are strong at the broken places. Ernest Hemingway announcing your quotes. Cunt. I've done this.
Cunt brackets bad.
One reason why one reason in which the movie redeems itself is Hemingway cell effortlessly mogged by Greek criminal because Matt gets the punchline to this because he turns around in his chair and goes, Hemingway, wasn't he the one who shot himself? Cleared
good.
Effortlessly.
Hell yeah. We get another fucking heartbreaking scene when he goes home to Marion because she's angry. She doesn't like his new job and their incompatible schedules and so on.
Yeah.
He says, "You're my conscience," and it's like,
haven't you got one of your own?
Had relationships like that as an egg.
It's interesting. It's interesting as well because while I think that's well observed, I don't think this movie writes women well at all. Not least because it's got 3 women in it, but in this case, it's really like you'll see this a lot once you start looking out for it, or if you just are a woman. A lot of sort of load-bearing emotional scenes in movies depend on female character activating bitch mode for no reason. Not, is hurt for a sort of emotionally comprehensible reason or is sort of like angry for any reason that's relatable, but just like, I have decided in this scene to be a bitch. And that's like this scene. Marion is pissed off for a bunch of sort of unreasonable within the context of the movie reasons, including bafflingly, I want to be dating a writer, not a croupier. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
There's one particular one which really sort of exposes the tension here where she's like, she has this like kind of class anxiety. We find out she used to be a police officer. Now she's like a store detective, like, like a shoplifting, like security, like fucking Harrods or something like that. And she's like, I haven't got any class, and I don't understand all this like fancy gambling nonsense. But it's really weird because what you're then presented with is a avowedly working class person who does not understand someone's job not being something they love.
Yeah.
And she's like, you really have to be a writer, You
got to become a writer now.
Yeah. Start writing, words boy. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but she's not happy, right?
When he's out and about the next day, he sees an advert for Cape Town, and Alex Kingston stops by, and she's like, "Oh shit, hello.
Where I'm from."
Yeah,
he's there wearing an incredible, massive coat and stupid hat combo. Really, just looks awful.
Yeah,
it's really trying to do the film noir stuff.
He tries to meet up with his wife, like at the start of this scene, but she's like, "Look, I'm busy till 9." And he's like, "Oh fuck, I'm on at 9."
It's a really funny bit where he just like they go down a down escalator together, and she says, "No, I'm working," and he just goes back up the other escalator.
Like, well,
really good.
All right, really good, and then runs into Alex Kingston.
It's trying to do the kind of double income, no kids thing of like, oh, you hardly see each other. You live in a shitty flat in like Zone 1, and it does look like Zone 1 as well.
Yeah,
and they're like, you get in, they're getting out, and it's like, yeah, that's not bad. But anyway, he runs into Alex Kingston, who is like, I'm from South Africa. Would you like to go to a hotel with me and talk a bunch of absolute shit about South Africa? Which they do. We get a scene of 2 white people kind of psychoanalyzing like the African character as a thing that can be said to exist.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, it's witchcraft. That's African," and I'm like, Is it?
White South Africans love to be like, I'm African.
It's not a walk in the park.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I mean, like, but like, you are.
But like,
I also just
like
Africa's a big fucking place. It can't all be one thing. It can't all be witchcraft.
Yeah, I mean, this is 1998. These are the years of the Rainbow Nation, like everybody's like, I'm not racist now. I saw that one film with, who's in Invictus? I saw that one film Invictus, or the events that the film Invictus was based on, so I'm not racist now.
Yeah. I like rugby, so I'm not racist. Have you heard of that guy, Pierre Novelli? Yeah, I like him a lot.
I'm looking forward to watching District 9 in about a decade's time.
I've got a lot of opinions about the movie Blood Diamond.
I picked a really intense gambit here of going, I'm really attracted to a South African accent. I'm going to do a horrible imitation of one for the whole episode and hope that anyone listening who has one still likes me enough to like tolerate
This. Well, now
this.
South Africans will approach you in a pissed off manner, which I gather is what you want.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, smart.
Yeah, no, that is what, yeah.
Exactly,
okay, smart.
Exactly.
I am Sigma, actually. So they talk some absolute shit about South Africa.
Yeah, they really do.
They kind of flirt a bit too. She's wearing a wedding ring, and he's like, "Oh, is that a wedding ring?" And she's like, "It is, but I'm not married. I have to go now. Here's my phone number."
It just keeps the flies
I do to
off.
keep the flies off, which is cool.
Of which there are a lot in Africa because it's so hot. That's where I'm from, by the way.
To keep the CC flies off.
But so they befriend each other, and and she's like, "I'll see you in the casino again." I kept doing the accent. I'll see you in the casino again. So goes back to work.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to space these out just for us, really.
He also like wears his tuxedo on the tube because he's like eager to perform, and he sees a man in the casino coughing, and he thinks to himself, and this is a quote, "The croupier registered disgust," and it's like he's fucking dissociating.
It's like, oh my god.
He's like, I saw the roulette wheel spin.
You ever shift into third person mode?
Yeah.
Also, when he's on the tube is horrible, right? Like it's all too many people, too close, too loud, too drunk, sort of firing off like party streamers and stuff. And it's like the tube is fucking awful. Which it can be, sure. Right, we just accept this is part of the thing. The commute sucks. So he gets off work, and as he's leaving, he turns down a lift from Matt.
From Bella, in fact.
Yeah, and
and
the cheat that he confronted earlier is waiting for him and tries to attack him. And we see that actually, as much as Jack gets the shit kicked out of him, sort of in ambush, he can fight. He likes to fight, and he really, really does not like cheats. And Bella sort of rescues him. She pulls up in her car, seeing him kicking the shit out of this guy.
Yeah, he really goes to town on this guy.
Yeah. And it's a good Clive Owen delivery, actually. I said that like a football commentator. But as he gets into the car, there's a kind of like half drunk with violence, kind of exhilarated, slurred, he won't be cheating again kind of thing. And it's just like, that's a moment that I like, in that it's
It'd be funny to do movie recaps as a football commentator.
It is funny though, because it's like this whole movie is him saying stuff that's like meant to sound cool. This is so like, it's the first one that's like obviously weird and uncool and alienating and frightening from the outside, but like in the moment you're so in the adrenaline that you're like, that's my fucking Sigma line, dude. Like,
so Bella takes him back to her place and patches him up. And then
we love to write women.
We do love to write women.
It's not a great scene.
He grabs her and kisses her extremely forcefully.
Very aggressive.
Pins her to the ground. Credit to this actress who I think we've seen this kind of move with Bond before, where the script implies that like, oh, she's kind of into it. And the actress like does not sell that. I'm thinking of Pussy Galore. But the actress does sell both, this is extremely surprising, and also like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Like, very shocked, but then, okay, sure.
It's still a very, very uncomfortable bit in the film.
I assume it's meant to be.
I hate that it's there. Yeah, well, exactly, right? Yeah. Like, as a bit of kind of alienation from Jack, I don't hate that it's there necessarily.
Yes. That's a good point.
I think at this point in the movie, because the movie is, you're stuck with his internal monologue, and if you were 15, you could be left thinking, this is a cool kind of guy to be. I think it's worthwhile to have this in here to make you go, wait, what? No, actually, I don't like that, and I don't like this guy very much necessarily. But Bella is not. So after the sex, Bella's like, I used to do sex work.
She's smoking a really long joint, as she says this, by the way, like 5 foot long.
Crazy the joints in this movie.
It's unbelievable.
It
looks
stand.
like, when women used to have the like really long cigarette holders, but she's not using a cigarette holder. That's just all joint right to the end. It's crazy.
Yeah. Used to do sex work. Used to be a dominatrix, in fact. Which is, I guess, sort of meant to be sort of scandalous within the context of the movie.
Yeah, I guess I'm sort of like inured to this, like being in trans circles. I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I know like 5 people who
remarkably
did
good
that.
hedging from the movie, though, where she's like, I never let him bust.
Yeah.
I'm clean as a whistle. I didn't.
It genuinely, and it sort of she goes,
interesting.
Oh yeah, I just did S&M, nothing weird, no blowjobs, because blowjobs were weird in the 90s.
Yeah, like blowjobs are weird. Like, it's strange. Yeah, odd.
Yeah, very strange. But yeah,
what was she doing in 1998?
She's a sex worker, but like the redeemable kind, because she didn't actually fuck anyone, just indulged a bunch of perverts' weird fetishes, and it's like, okay, that's
amazing movie.
Great, thanks for that. Yeah, and so he also has a very low opinion of Matt. They talk a little bit about Matt. She tells him that Matt said, I want to fuck the whole world over. It's my mission. And Jack like finds that to be a very inspiring phrase as a writer. He's like, oh shit, like that kind of attitude would be great for a protagonist. And it's like, okay, sure, man.
Yeah, he starts kind of writing again. We see his wife meter go up a little bit here because the
hat returns.
We see him typing, and she puts the hat on him. Like, again, it's still a costume that's being put on him.
Yeah, this is the point of the movie where he's narrating things as chapters. He starts like,
and
also Bella at this point just leaves the movie. She's not at work anymore, and Jack says she's been written out, and we're like, what the fuck is happening, man?
Yeah,
there's a lot of distancing from him at this point. It's quite well done. Interesting. So at this point, Marion reads a couple of pages that he's written of the book, and she doesn't fucking like it. She's like, this sucks, because he's writing a novel about a croupier. And she's like, this guy that you're writing, is this your idea of a winner? Like, she says, he's a miserable zombie. And then there's no hope in this. He's like, it's the truth. She's like, is this a Mary Sue? Is this fucking self-insert? Do you think like this? And he's like, no, but if I did, it'd be cool. The whole world is like this. It's Sigma. It's cool, actually. And she's like, this guy's a fucking asshole that you're writing. This is cringe.
He's cracked.
Zoran won. Hope is back. Like you're no, this is not how we do this anymore. And then,
are you washed?
And then the fucking doorbell rings.
You can talk to me if you're washed.
And it's Bella.
And he goes to ignore it. He's like, we're not going through your door. And Marion insists.
Yeah, they do.
It's Bella.
Yeah,
Bella, who is like, thanks for shopping me to the casino and getting me fired.
Because somebody must have told them that Bella was taking drugs. She was given a quote-unquote random drug test, and obviously the weed that she smoked a couple nights ago showed up, and she's been sacked. And she openly says, as soon as Marion comes to the door, your boyfriend fucked me, smoked my dope, and shopped me. And it's
Bella's
like, oh, fuck.
Okay, great.
Oh, that's the last thing you want to happen.
Yeah,
no, Bella's
Marion,
so fucking cool.
to her credit, takes this
Bella
quite
rocks.
well. Bella just walks away at this point, and Marion just says, go on then. Off you go after her, and shuts the door on him.
Brutal.
Yeah.
She's good. She's good. Yeah, and your book sucks.
Yeah. Interestingly, Marion is the one who moves out, not him. And then we see him like stalking her, meeting another man for coffee and like kissing him and stuff. He also reports Matt at this point and gets Matt fired.
Yeah, he does. He's like mad about it. He assumes that it must have been Matt who shopped in Bella, so he's like he tells his boss about the
he's
sliding
got a
money.
Fight Club as well, because like it's like his protagonist, his self-insert protagonist is named Jake, and he starts dividing things between Jack and Jake, and all of the more Sigma casino stuff is it becomes sort of Jake talking.
Yeah, he's got a croup sonar.
Yeah, it cuts to him in a Waterstones, and I go, "Oh fuck, he's in Waterstones."
Yeah, it's very obviously Waterstones.
Unbelievably Waterstones.
Yeah. I was like, is this a Waterstones or is this like a kind of late period Ottakers? But yeah, no, he's in Waterstones, and this is where the movie pushes it too far. You remember I mentioned trying to overextend a central metaphor? Well, this is the bit where he's looking at all of these books, and he's like, oh, pile them high and sell them fast and cheap. It's like a casino in here.
They're like chips, kind of.
Guy who's spent the last, like, every last sort of weekday in a casino in any other building. Getting a lot
of casino vibes from this.
Yeah, and I watched this with my girlfriend, and she, after seeing this scene, started doing a bit where anytime she saw anything, she would be like, oh, can I have one of those chocolates? Weirdly circular shaped. Kind of like a roulette wheel. Every single fucking object.
She was watching this movie doing the jerk off motion, and you were like, that's very kind, but not now, I'm at work.
Yeah. And we get another indictment of the British publishing industry because Giles is publishing a kill and tell book by a terrorist. And you know he's a terrorist because he is an Arab man wearing a keffiyeh whose name is Abu X, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the book is called Death Squad, I think.
Habib. Yeah.
Real bad.
No good.
It's like, oh, sorry, you're telling me the British publishing industry is like kind of voyeuristic and maybe a bit evil? Like the gambling industry? Yeah.
Wow. Make you think, Mr. Joker.
Yeah, Giles invites him to an evening in the countryside, and when a guy with that accent invites you to an evening in the countryside, I'm like, swinging. That is swinging. That is going to be.
Yeah, you're going to be having sex that is weird. Brackets bad.
Yeah, it's gonna be. There's gonna be the vibe shift that happens, but it's not gonna be a good vibe shift. You're gonna be you're gonna be hunting women through the woods, like it's gonna be
Brackets
not
bad.
good. Brackets bad, and as we see, because he takes Yanni, he invites her.
The South African lady,
the South African lady, and they begin. The vibe hasn't even shifted yet. They start, but drive out into the middle of the countryside. Oh, by the way, she has a black eye.
She's got like a big black eye.
Yeah. And she's like, don't worry about it. I don't want to talk about it right now.
I'll tell you in a couple of scenes' time when the narrative calls for some more drama.
Really, she's like, don't worry about it. I just had to fight someone, which is such a great excuse. Like, oh yeah, no worries.
Yeah, you know how we do it in South Africa all the time?
This is how it goes.
Someone hit me, a normal way to get a black eye.
Hey, don't worry. I just got hit in the face. Like, okay.
Before the vibe even shifts, doubles tennis at night. There's something really unwholesome about
evil.
this.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Ever since he started flying the kite, he's been isolated and weird.
Yeah. And Giles is quite taken with her. Yeah, she's
South
like, how did he get the
women
black
are
eye?
very spirited, and Jack does the thing again of lying to make himself seem more interesting, but he lies in a way to make himself seem more repulsive.
Yeah.
And this is interesting because, like, I think it's possible to miss this one. I think it's a judgment on Giles, right? I think Jack's judgment of Giles is such that he has contempt for him, and he believes correctly that if he lies and says, I hit her, and I did it for an interesting reason, I caught her in bed with another woman, then Giles is going to laugh this off and be kind of charmed by it, and as Giles does.
Yeah, he does.
Giles is not the kind of person who, when his friend confesses to being a domestic abuser to him, is, kicks him out of his house, or, is even sort of like disgusted. He's like, oh, you are a dark horse. This is sick. Giles is a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
And that's something that Jack has sort of correctly judged him on. So we later in the evening, the vibe still hasn't quite shifted.
No.
But we're playing poker with two incredibly beautiful posh women. And I just love a woman with an accent.
Yeah, Jack's like, I won't play, but I will deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm a fucking croupier, by the way.
Yeah, I'll go croupier mode.
I'm the croupier.
I'll activate croupier mode and croup on these guys. He in his head predicts what all their moves are going to be, whether they're going to like raise or stick or whatever. And then on the final hand, everyone has incredibly unlikely hands. Everyone's like straight flush.
Everyone's got flushes and shit.
Three of a kind. And obviously,
it is the top set. It's the full set of poker hands in ascending order, ending with Yanni. Getting a royal
so
flush.
she wins. And everyone's like, what are the odds of this? And he's like, it's 42 million to 1. And it's obviously implied that he's crouped it for her. He crouped that shit.
Yeah, he's like Sigma crouped it 100%. He's like, yeah, good for him.
In the night,
Strange
Giles we can hear fucking these two women. But
we do,
but you know, him and Yanni aren't
sex.
having sex.
No.
And in the night, she just wakes him up and says, "Look, I need to explain now the bruise."
Some more plot of the movie has to happen now.
She's like, wake up, I lied, we're not having sex. Would you like to be in a heist?
Yeah, would you like to have a heist in this heist movie?
Would you like to have a heist?
And then
like,
she says,
shit, a heist.
I owe
pointing at
money
the screen.
to some really rough people who are planning to rob the Golden Lion Casino, but they need an inside man. And he's like, the movie Inside Man won't come out for another 8 years.
Yeah.
Me and Denzel Washington are going to make that. It's going to be great, but I'm not up for it now. We've got to wait almost a decade for that movie to come out. Willem Dafoe's going to be there too, you know?
Yeah, he is being recruited to be an inside man, and all he has to do, it's a foolproof plan.
Yeah.
Croupiers are not honest. You've seen Matt, right? If they see someone cheating, they might just let it slide. We need someone who hates cheats, who is known to hate cheats, who can provoke a distraction by catching someone cheating and actually making an issue of it. And then, okay, maybe they'll attack you a bit, but like, because it's got to look decent, but like, you get 10 grand. If it goes wrong, you keep that 10 grand. Nobody's going to be looking at you. And then if it doesn't go wrong, you get another 10 grand after.
There you go.
It's not a bad plan, necessarily.
You'll be the distraction, and all you have to do is do exactly what you would have done anyway.
I will say more movie making in the late 90s era. Fully naked Alex Kingston.
Yeah.
Full on bush and all. And I don't get to see Clive Owen's hog. So like, what's the fucking deal?
Yeah, what's the deal there?
Ridiculous.
This is bullshit. Yeah.
It's fucking bullshit.
But so he's like, no, this is a terrible idea. Like you're gonna get caught. I've seen the security. It's a gamble, and I don't gamble.
It's a gamble.
Yeah, in his head he thinks Jack wouldn't do it, but maybe Jake the croupier would do it.
Maybe the fucking croupier would.
Maybe this looks like a job for the croupier.
Inventing an incrementally cooler version of myself called December, who does take risks.
Yeah, he's developing a crime sona.
Yeah. So my crime sona December. But so he kind of demurs on this, and she leaves.
She's got a South African accent for some reason as well.
Yeah, she leaves early. In the morning, he's wearing the hat again. He brought the hat with him to the countryside.
Dude, leave the hat.
Don't bring the hat to the sex party.
Maybe that's why he wasn't fucking the posh women, was because they saw the hat. And but so he sees Giles, and Giles is like, how's the football novel coming? And he sort of barks at him like, you told me this wasn't going to be work. And you get the sense he's still thinking about it, you know?
At this point, he goes home, and something quite interesting happens. He finds a necklace, which is a gift from Marion. And she wants to reconcile. She says, I don't care at all about Bella, and I was wrong about the book, and I want to be with you again. And my notes say, is this real? Because this was such an unexpected turn from Marion. Yeah. And we've been so in Jack's head.
It's been so dissociative.
This is the point where I started to think, is he an unreliable narrator? Is this fiction? Is he making this up?
Yeah. Genuinely, I think I did too. The first time I saw it, the necklace, by the way, is a little book-shaped locket because you know what else, you get a writer. But on sort of knowledge and belief, this is real.
It's still like her idea of him as a gift, though.
I don't know.
But they reconcile.
Yeah, well, the movie shows us that. I'm not sure. I don't know if I believe it. But he also gets a call from Alex Kingston. And this is the point where he starts confusing himself, Jack and Jake, because he says, Jake wanted to see Alex Kingston, so I went over to see her. And I'm like, you've become the crime son. You've become the croupier.
Yeah.
I'm going to become the croupier, he says to himself, and he becomes the croupier.
Yeah, he goes to this shitty hotel in what looks like King's Cross to me, with like his sort of big stupid overcoat and his stupid hat, and he goes to see Yanni.
There's a really nice detail in the sound mixing. This movie uses noisy neighbors and people making noise in the room next door really effectively to indicate a poor standard of living. It's present in his flat, and it's also present in his scene too. It's really good. As somebody who has very noisy neighbors, I'm like, yes, good. That is irritating.
Same. Yeah. But so she's like, listen, the plan's just as it was. Everything's gonna be fine. Please, I need it because I'm in deep shit. And he goes, that bruise is cleared up nicely. Which I like. This is your vintage noir stuff. Is Guy a little bit slow on the uptake, being successfully tricked by a woman and duplicitous woman. You know, like it's not good in itself, but it's a trope, and it's one that I kind of like. Is woman who is like outsmarting him.
He's like, you're making the jerk off motion awfully effectively for someone who's got a sore hand.
It's almost as if that you're lying to me about the reason for doing this, to try and play on my kind of desire to sort of help a woman in need, in danger.
Yeah.
And he's like,
it could well be.
But he takes it. He gambles.
Yeah, he does. And he assures himself that this isn't gambling, because he's like, in his head, he's like, I'm going to go Sigma mode. I've got a plan. First of all, I'm going to test the movie. I'm going to test the money to see whether it's real. And secondly, I'm not going to spend any of it, because obviously, if this all goes tits up, the crime people are going to come to me and they're going to be like, we want the money back. And he says, all right, I'm not going to spend it then. I'm just going to hold on to it for 6 months. And if they haven't asked for it back at that point, then I'm all
nice.
good, right?
He's expressing this in gambling odds as well. Like he gets to the sort of 6 months and he's like 100 to 1.
Yeah.
Anything happens.
There's also a really interesting moment here where this desperate gambler comes to his table whilst he's at work, and he's obviously like sweating and down to his last red cent, and he rigs the game so that this guy wins, and he pays out to him, and then he watches the guy get up, go towards the casino to cash the chips in, and then go to another table and immediately blow it all and lose it again. And he thinks to himself, people don't change. Like, it's just, he's so misanthropic.
Which is cool. That's a cool thing to be.
Yeah.
You
She's
should
in
have
croupier
contempt
state
for
here.
people. Yeah. Or you could transition to sort of like try and relieve yourself of that feeling. Anyway,
What?
He's in his head, he's only calling himself Jake at this point as well, and he watches more gamblers lose, and he opines that gamblers aren't just self-destructive, but like omni-destructive. They're trying to destroy everything around them.
To fuck the whole world over.
Yeah.
Like, and I like this. I think this actually is perceptive, is to recognize a misanthropy in a gambling addiction, right?
Yeah.
To be like, well, I think I'm better than you, but you want to fuck everything over. You want to sort of like alienate your family and like destroy your career and all of your relationships. And it's like, that's true. That's true of any addiction, really.
He even tells Marion, he says, gambling isn't about winning money. It's about ignoring reality.
Yeah, I think that's perceptive. I think it's a good script in this part.
Yeah, in this bit, yeah.
But so he gets a phone call, which he misses. It's on the answering machine from Yanni being like, it's time to do crimes now. The date for the big crimes is set for tomorrow. And Marion gets this. Marion, who used to be a cop.
She like finds the money as well in the fridge.
Yeah.
It's wrapped in
Got to keep the money cool.
foil. Yeah, fair. They don't want it to go off, you know?
And she puts it together and she erases that message, which means it comes as a surprise the next day when
Christmas Eve, Christmas movie.
Like
yeah,
Die
just
Hard.
as much of a claim as Die Hard. Absolutely.
It goes into work on the tube. People are sort of like blowing sort of like streamers and stuff in his ear. It's like really terrible. Yeah, he goes into work. He gets into the tuxedo and he puts on like a paper crown. I like the sort of the slight touch of the absurd here. Like Mr. Reynolds is wearing a Santa outfit, and you get a lot of shots of just guys on every corner, you know, like a lot of sort of sharp looks and milling around as he takes his table, and a guy does the same thing. He places a late bet, and without even really
catches
thinking
him.
about it.
Yeah, he's not even thinking about it. It's not clear if he doesn't. He just like sees it and goes, "That's a late bet."
Sir, that's a late bet. Yeah.
There's a funny detail here, which is that the criminal here isn't a very good actor in universe, where he stands up and is like, "Are you saying I'm cheating? How about you?" And like attacks it. It's in a really funny way. It's a nice detail.
Yeah. But we see as he's getting his shit kicked out of him. which is we see through a couple of minutes, he really is getting the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah,
He really is.
yeah.
Like, there's some really good mirror work in this.
They're
movie,
really selling. Yeah.
There's lots of it in the casino, so you get like reflections of him getting the shit kicked out of him.
You see just like another two guys with guns behind the sort of like in the sort of cage with the money, and so there's this one gambler, Mr. Sai, I want to say. Again, this movie does like mysterious agent a bit here, which I don't love.
A little bit, yeah.
But he is like one gambler. He's like a sort of returning thing. Has a crush on Bella as well. And is sort of like close with Mr. Reynolds and has a bodyguard in the casino. And you see him have a word with his bodyguard. And of course, we don't actually know whether or not it's the police or just sort of rival gangsters. But in pretty short order, the robbers are sort of overwhelmed and sort of brought out with their hands up.
Yeah.
While Jack is sort of like coughing up parts of his lung on the floor. So the robbery has not gone well.
No. But the next day is Christmas Day, and he's in hospital. And Marion comes to visit him and is like, "Hey, I know you're the croupier from the movie Croupier.
Yeah.
You need to stop. You need to give up
Stop being the fucking croupier.
Spider-Man.
You gotta stop being the croupier.
You gotta stop being the croupier.
If you don't stop being the croupier, I'm gonna fucking turn you in."
Yeah. I'm gonna call the cops on you.
Crazy.
This is some tsundere behavior from Marion.
Yeah, a little bit. Like I say, she's got very specific opinions on what job her boyfriend can have, and she, I don't know, I sort of like
write a novel or I will call the cops.
It's like, if you don't write a fucking novel.
There's an argument here about sort of like refusing to sort of face reality, that she is also internally monologuing because she has a very specific fantasy of herself, and she needs him to sort of conform to that specific fantasy, which is, my boyfriend is blonde even though it doesn't look good on him, and he's a writer. I can almost see that. But so she sort of leaves him with a thing of Chinese food and is like, "Fucking told you, quit your job. Otherwise, I will call the police." Yeah.
Reynolds gives him sick pay, and he's like, "Well, take some time off. I hate to lose you." He keeps writing the novel, and then at 2 a.m. one morning, he's wearing the tuxedo as he's writing. At 2 a.m. he gets a knock on the door, and he thinks to himself, "Here we go. It's the criminals.
The cops. Here we go.
They're going to want the money back, but I'm so fucking Sigma. I'm prepared for this. I'm ready to go. All I'm going to do is give them the fucking money back." He opens the door. "Oh, hello, officer." It's the fucking cops.
Yeah, and not only is it the cops, but it's not the
Roz.
cops here to arrest you, because that cop isn't wearing his hat.
No.
That's a cop who's there to tell you the genuinely surprising twist in the movie. Marion is fucking dead.
Yeah. Marion was killed in a hit and run.
It's a hit and run. It's not clear what the motive was. It could have been revenge. It could have not been. It could have been random.
It could have been a fucking drunk driver, like with no idea at all.
Mysterious.
And then the detective comes in and he's like, "Hey, Marion mentioned something to me about a robbery at the casino. Could this be connected?" And Jack's like, "I don't know. I don't give a shit. Fuck off." And he's like, "Oh, by the way, I was in love with her."
Yeah, the detective is the guy that when he was stalking Marion, he saw her going home with and kissing.
Yes. Yes. And that's, Marion dead. R.I.P.
Marion fucking dead.
Marion dead. Yeah, genuinely, like, did not see that coming at all.
No, nor did I.
Like, fully fucking took me out.
And again, at this point, I'm like, is this really happening?
Yeah, what's going on?
He finishes the book. The book is called I, Croupier, which fucking sucks.
Yeah, stupid fucking name.
I'm making the Chekhov motion and nobody's dick is in my hand.
Yeah.
he doesn't give it to Giles. He's like, feels weird at this stage to give it to Giles.
What he does is another real everything is gambling moment. He's like, he had selected, he's doing it in third person narration, he had selected a publisher at random, which they let you do, I think. You don't need an agent or anything, you just kind of send it to a publisher.
Publishers are just waiting for your call.
Yeah, you can call like Random
you want
House.
To publish a book?
That's why they're called that. The casino, or as I like to call it, the Random House.
Hey,
nice.
A guy wearing a tuxedo in a casino, Penguin Random House.
Pretty good.
Hachette. So
yeah, he just Galbraiths it. He just like he sends it out anonymously.
The gigantic spliff or the hachette. There we go. Okay. So I got 2 or 3, depending on how you count, publishing jokes out of that. Feeling pretty good about this. So
we're keeping score at home.
The book is a huge success, right? And we got to talk about how this movie perceives books and how it perceives authors, right? So
it's really funny.
For this,
it's not sure what it thinks an author is.
For this movie, an author is someone who is like, it's crazy, right? Most people aren't sentient or like, and are sort of only temporarily elevated to sapience by reading books which are written by people with interiority and human souls. And so like multiple times when he's on the tube, he's like, he knew he would be a writer and get in people's heads and make them feel things, but most of what people are reading is like shit, it's like self-help stuff or whatever, that doesn't mean anything. But he sees people reading his book about croupiering, and he's like,
how to be a croupier.
Yeah, he's like done something. He's achieved something. He has sort of like made people think for the first time.
Yeah, it's an international bestseller.
One thing I do like, and this was heartbreaking to me at the time as someone who sort of fancied herself a writer and on similar grounds of sort of arrogance and misanthropy, was he has this realization, which I like, that he is a one book writer. He doesn't have another one in him. There's no second novel. He's not. This isn't a career. He had one book and that was it. And I liked that. I thought that was heartbreaking.
He puts it in a gambling metaphor, though. He's like, I'm quitting while I'm ahead.
Yeah. He does nothing with the money. He still lives in the same fucking flat. It's all completely anonymous.
He just gets the bars
as well.
taken off the windows. He's just
He
doesn't change anything.
Even get
Stays working as a croupier even.
And again, at this point, I'm like, is this really happening? This is your kind of fantasy. This seems like a weird fantasy ending that like, oh, I got one over on everyone else, but nobody knows it though, is the thing.
We gotta talk about racism again, because he goes to the Greek restaurant where he meets, as far as I can tell, the only person of color in the movie.
I believe you might be right.
A black woman named Lucy, who identifies herself to him as a witch, right?
Again, Africa is not all witchcraft.
And to be clear as well, that this is a British woman. She speaks with like a London accent, and she's like, yeah, I'm a witch. I'm a white witch. And he sort of very drunkenly is like, are you going to put a spell on me? But she takes him home in his car because she bought it. And the sort of punchline of this is she paid sort of significantly more than he sold it for. But again, you get a sort of well-delivered, like he is drunk off his ass. He's like, this is a nice fucking car. Again,
pretty good,
sort of, you get that sort of little mantra again of like, hold on tightly, let go lightly. And he sort of like, he has let go of his car, his one material possession, because earlier with Marion, she's like, what do you need the money for? He's like, I wanted to buy a car because I fucking hate getting the tube. I hate public transport.
Yeah, it's like, you had the car, man. You had a car.
But it's all justifications. And in the end, he doesn't buy a car. He doesn't replace it, you know? And he just lets go of it. So he gets a phone call from Yanni, who's like, great job. Sorry it didn't work out, but, you know, seems to have been okay in the end. Keep the money.
Keep the 10K. Got someone here who wants to talk to you.
Yeah, your dad is on the phone.
It's your dad. Your dad. He does like great work helping out with my heist, bitch.
Also, I'm engaged to Yanni.
Just wanted
There's
to
a
let you know
punchline.
that I am having sex with Alex Kingston with a South African accent. So
That's fair. You know what? I would be ringing everyone too. I'd be
Down
going
the
down my fucking
contacts
contacts
list.
list. Genuinely,
Yeah,
just be
yeah.
like, I just wanted to let you know.
Yeah.
I'm not inviting you to the wedding or anything. You just need to be aware of this.
And so the whole thing was a setup.
Yeah, all of his success, it happens because his dad rigged the game for him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets kind of wistful about this. He's like, his dad was still rigging stuff for him. And it's like, sorry, did you... Your dad maybe killed your girlfriend.
It's probable.
He maybe had your girlfriend killed.
Yeah. And also, all the success you thought you had was because your dad arranged it for you. None of your success was real. And then also, Bella is now here.
Yeah, this is a bit I fucking hate. He gets...
Yeah, this is like, all right, there's one woman left in the movie.
Right at the ending, a consolation girlfriend.
Fucked up.
Again, this makes me question, like, is this really happening? Or is he just fucking gone off the Croupier deep end now? And he's just like, yeah, and then my bitch girlfriend came back and said she loved me. But then she was killed. She died in a way that made me look cool and deep. But then my cool girlfriend who takes drugs and used to be a dominatrix came back actually for no reason that is explained. And it's like, is this real? Is this it, or are you just fucking demented?
Yeah, but it is. We have no sort of alternative but to conclude. I think that it is. It's just that that's the movie.
I don't know. I like the reading that at some point during the movie we're just in kind of fiction land, especially once he starts giving himself a different name and stuff. Like I think he's lost in the source at this point.
Yeah, but that's
I think he's alone making the jerk off motion.
Yeah.
I think as Avenged Sevenfold said, he who makes a croupier out of himself gets rid of the pain of being a woman.
That's so true. That is so true. And I lived that for a number of years.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
God. You are transgender. You listening to this right now are transgender.
Me? I mean, yes,
you must.
that is true.
You must transition. I'm sorry. You have to.
Billions must transition.
Yes.
Yeah, you think you're cisgender listening to Kill James Bond?
No,
do you know how unlikely that is statistically?
Yeah.
That's
Million
crazy.
to one.
Yeah.
I don't gamble.
Don't gamble.
Yeah. That's creepy.
That's not part of being Sigma is not gambling.
Putting one of those progesterone pills on a roulette wheel, that'd be kind of funny. That'd be hard.
That's pretty
actually.
good.
A film I thought
putting
was
it all on
really,
Booth.
really cool when I was 15, which is the type of movie that is.
Mm-hmm.
I love watching that kind of movie, though. It's always like, oh man.
Yeah, I do too. I feel like I learned a bit about you from this November.
Oh, thank you. I mean, yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of me in it. And yeah, directed by the same guy who did Get Carter and Flash Gordon. So it's I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Written by the same guy who wrote The Last Samurai too.
No shit, really. Huh.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it's a bad movie in a lot of ways. It's a cringe movie in a lot of ways. It's got some real problems with women. It's pretty fucking racist.
Yeah, but we could calculate the exact odds on that now.
That's true. That's true.
We can.
With our
we've got
patented
fucking maths.
sports book, it's called the SCUM system. It stands for SMUM, cultural insensitivity, unprovoked violence, and misogyny. And the dealer must draw to 16. How, on a scale of 0 to 7, which I think is some form of baccarat, how smarmy is Croupier? And it's got
ace
to
is
be
high or low.
It's pretty fucking high, but gotta tell you.
Like, it's fucking incredibly. Like,
I almost want to put it in the punitive zone as well. To be honest. Like,
me too.
I could go as high as 8.
I would go to 8. I would go to 8.
Let it ride. 8.
Yeah,
sounds good.
Cultural insensitivity. All Greeks are criminals, which I'm not thrilled about. Get a really clean voice drop of that from me.
There is one.
Yeah, that's going in the folder.
I believe there's. Oh no, there's
Number one.
There's 2 named characters of color. There's Lucy the Witch, and then there's the Chinese gambler man, I guess.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, sure.
Whose
only role is to lust after Bella and to be a kind of criminal linchpin of the heist getting foiled. And it's you never like to use the word inscrutable, but that is ultimately what they're doing with him in this case, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty fucking bad.
Oh, and also the terrorist book writer. That's pretty
the terrorist
bad.
book writer. Holy fuck! Yeah,
That's pretty
okay.
bad.
All of the two white people talking to each other about the kind of witchcraft of Africa. That alone's got to boot it up from a mission into like 5.
Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah,
5?
yeah.
5
I
it
would go
is.
5, yeah. And that's generous, I think.
Unprovoked violence. This is an interesting one because he does beat the shit out of that cheetah, but I guess, does the movie ask us to believe that this is cool?
I think we're all supposed to be like, yo, Croupier, calm down. When he's doing that.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not sure. I'm genuinely not sure on this one.
Does this movie want us to think Clive Owen is cool or not? That's a question for the ages, really.
Yes, I think it does. I think it wants to have its cake and eat it, is the thing. It wants us to take all of the criticism of him. But then be like, ultimately, this is kind of cool, you know?
In which case, I think that probably gets marked down as unprovoked violence.
So in that case, it's got to be like a 1 or a 2 then.
Yeah, 2, 3. I can see 2.
Yeah.
All right, and finally, misogyny.
So this is interesting. We have 3 whole different types of women. We've got former sex worker who is a bit abrasive, but will ultimately like come good in the end.
And she's not the bad kind of sex worker who actually had sex. She's just the kind of the cool kind who enhances your cool by having been a dominatrix.
Yeah, we have exotic foreign woman who is like femme fatale and who is like playing you. And we have sort of good woman brackets kind of a bitch who has to die. Like
who dies and also is not seen naked, whereas the other 2 are.
Yeah.
And also
Very
she comes
true.
back even though she has no reason to, and also assuming that those events are real and that we're supposed to believe that Jake is an authentic narrator. Also, you get your cool drugs, your weed smoking girlfriend back at the end as well. Yeah. Not great.
it's not phenomenal, is it? It's very transactional. It's very like rewarding.
Very 90s, very kind of male fantasy.
Yeah.
5, 6?
I would go.
Or do we want to go higher?
Well, if we put it as 6, we come to 21, which is kind of funny.
Hell yeah, 6. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, is that scientific?
But it's not scientific. No,
I would have gone for 6 anyway.
Okay. Well,
say.
in that case, it
Sure.
is. I probably was going to.
it's scientific to put your finger on a scale.
It does come to 21, and that is Blackjack.
That is Blackjack. Yeah, like the movie 21.
Any awards? Any?
No.
I don't think so.
Kronstein's Nobody Goes Above and Beyond for the cause of
Nobody goes
villainy,
above and
particularly.
No,
Nobody
think
goes
so.
above and beyond for the cause of goodness either, I guess.
No.
Tragic.
Sad to say.
That's
but
the Croupier.
That's the
That's
Croupier.
Croupier.
I'm glad we watched that. That was entertaining, at least. You know?
fun.
I'm really
I had a good
glad.
time.
I'm really glad. I've looked back and faced some of my own cringe, and so thank you for not just the therapy that I don't have to pay for, but the therapy that I get paid for. Which is
allow the
very,
cringe
very
to pass
gratifying.
through you, and when you turn back, it will no longer be there.
Only me brackets woman
Only I will
remain.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us for this. Our next bonus episode, is that going to be my pick?
No, it's mine. In fact,
Our next bonus episode is it's Abby's pick.
Okay.
mine. It's going to be the zone of interest. Let's
Hell
get
yeah.
interesting. Let's
Okay.
get fucking
Talking about
interesting.
Glazer, you
we
know?
have to.
Shit,
We've been glazing
okay.
Glazer. I also have one, listeners, if you know the zone of interest, not a very funny film. I do have
No.
one extremely funny thing to say about it, though, which we will get to.
Okay,
Beautiful.
we'll brace ourselves for the one joke. Our next
In terms of our
mainline
next
episode,
main episode,
I have a suggestion.
Yo,
go for it.
Hit
What do
me.
you reckon?
Hit me.
Well, so I have 2 options here, right? We could stay on casinos, and I could do either Bob Le Flambeur or Le Cercle Rouge, one of the 2 like French sort of gambling heist movies, which would be on the list anyway. Or we could take a turn here, and I could show us something that I really think is I want to make the kind of moral linchpin of robbery season, the bicycle thieves. So up to you, really.
I worry about having the Holocaust Hour and Bicycle Thieves.
Okay.
I think we should try to find something lighter-hearted.
Let's do Bob Le Flambeur.
Okay,
Bob
cool.
Le Flambeur. It's a good film. It's a
Okey-dokey.
nice short film.
Just to keep the balance.
Casino season, let it ride, baby, let it ride.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Sometimes you have to roll the hard 6. Thank you so much for listening.
Sometimes you bust.
Sometimes you have to roll the hard 007.
Nice.
Please subscribe to the Patreon. Because I think it's going to be a great episode. I think they all are, to be honest. I'm proud of all of them. And thank you for listening to this. Episodes. And we will see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to yet another episode of Kill James Bond. The next free episode in 2 weeks' time is Bob Le Flambeur. If you have to look that up, I don't blame you. I did too. But if that is simply too long for you to wait and you want a laugh riot, you can head on over to our Patreon, patreon.com/killjamesbond, and next week we will be talking about Zone of Interest, Jonathan Glazer's movie about the sort of overwhelming weight of the Holocaust and of bearing witness to things. And our previous bonus episode, you can already listen to if you head on over to our Patreon, is of course about Judgment at Nuremberg, which I think is one of my favourite episodes we've ever done. So, get it while it's hot. But special thanks, as always, to our £15 and above patrons, and those are Lexi Rose, Lo Bjornsdotter, Freya Aloysius, Candy Fox, No Name, Gustavo Lira, Helspeth Haunt. It's past Halloween now, babe, you need to update that. Jordan Gammy, Nick Boris, Frankenstein. I'm not going to say the same to you because you might just be called Frankenstein. Hannah Oberhardt, Dick Down, George Rohack, Canada will remember Devon's promise, Yarrick, Drone Lover, Melody Morrow, Gonzalez, Live Free or Cry, Labour Delenda Est, Let's All Get Flu Shots, Uwu. Worm Like a Devil, Kill James Bond Highlights, Library Hitman, Saiga, Top O, Max Gemainhardt, Joseph Sochet, The Project, Trip, Jack Drummond, Rhododendron, K Maybe OK, Athena V, Danielle Williams, Molly Powerslide, Ashley, Penile Sparing Vaginoplasty, Committing to the Bit is Too Much Work, Arizona Frog Strangler, Annie Ruby, Some Sort of Silly Canadian Creature, Anhedonia, Staz, Vixia, Lady Houndstooth, Science Daddy, Robert De Niro in Heat, and I'm not apologizing, Claire, Tim Welsh, Kakoden, sorry about that, Devon, hey, no problem, Chris Roth, Maid Victoria Roth turned in her badge and laptop, Gender Swap Podcast, My Best Friend, Parasocial Butterfly, Crush Hazard, Ray, Anya Top, Joyous Uwu, Vita Braver, Liz Rossi, Gay_Rat, Claire Baker, Saturday's Claire, Bite My Windpipe. It's a certain genre of our fans. You have slightly impressed me, be justly proud of this. Oh, okay. Finn Ross, Cayenne Belladonna, Define Gender Disaster, Devon needs to stop being so sexy, Krista Swisher, Meat Popsicle, Anya Shenanigans, Clairvoyance, Rope Trick Clarification, Lady Ariane, Delta Echo Victor, Alex, Isopod Gal, Casquatch, Obsidian Polymer, Sengshen, Liz and Ash of the University of Florida, Wolscott, Noblesse Oblahai, John 2089, Witch Hazel, Josh Simmons, Mega B, Loz Pycock, Mistress Angela, A-List, Duck Whisperer, Zoe Shepherd, Philippa is still catching up with KJB, Cassandra, Wolfie's Normal, Misidentified Lemon, Talkative Tiger, Cariad, Al Irwin, Emily Queen of Sloths, Robert Greensmith, Turfs Eat Shit and Die Alone, Abigail, Magpie, Charlotte with a D, Small Twink Energy, Lauren Baston, Meryl is not a vampire, she is a hopeless lesbian, Valeria Beneficia, local lesbian bog witch, and Armored Contempt. You lesbian monsters should try getting together. Maybe that would help out. And thank you so much for listening. Kill James Bond is, as always, Abigail, November, and Devon. Our producer is the wonderful Mr. Nate Bethay. Our podcast art is by John DeLuca. Our website is by Tom Allen. And I will see you next time.